everyone, this is Clary from Shadow Moon Tarot. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while and I do apologize, but I haven't been in the right state of mind to make videos, so I kind of avoided it. And hopefully I'll catch up now. And now I'm doing a March and April wrap up. March hasn't been great for me because it's been a very stressful month. I live in the UK as an immigrant, and the end of February as well as March was the time where all the conversation about Brexit was going on, which was very stressful for me. I did apply for citizenship, and actually, here to apply for citizenship, you have first to apply for settled status, which is what I did in February. And I was supposed to get an answer like in a few days, but I didn't get the answer until April because I don't know if it was Mercury retrograde or what. I never got the email, so I had to contact them, and that took quite a while. And therefore, that was one stressful factor. The other factor was that in my partner has some issues with his abdomen, and in March he had severe abdominal pains, so we had to go back and forth to the hospital many times, and in one case he had to be taken to hospital by ambulance, and he was given like morphine because he had taken too many painkillers, and it was all adding up, and there were other things, smaller things going on as well, and I was just totally not being able to relax anywhere. So, so I think that my depth year really didn't work out in March, and I ended up buying 2 decks and a few books. I think that was a retail therapy or something. I don't know. But anyway, let's go back to what happened. Other than that, the only good thing that happened was that we were given a night out from work as thank you for doing well, and the whole team went out bowling, and that was like kind of a nice event. But other than that, March was like quiet in this respect. I didn't really go places or do much. The um, main decks that I worked with during March was the what is called the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reid, and this is a deck that I bought in March. And because I have some animal decks, I didn't really expect to buy this one because it has. I'll show you. Because the animals, like the artwork is nice and the colors is like really lovely, but they have put these annoying embellishments on the animals that make no sense to me, and I was like, do I really want a deck like that? However, I had a sneak peek in the guidebook, and I really enjoyed the guidebook, so I thought, well, I'll give it a go. And I have to say that I really enjoyed this deck. Somehow it did work for me, maybe because before that, and like during the same month, I was working with the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck, and this is a deck that I really like the artwork. Somehow, I don't know, it's simple yet so, I don't know, nice. Is the word I'm looking for, I suppose. Um, yeah, these two like really helped me understand more about the animals, and then picking up from the knowledge of the animals, I was able to read them as oracles. What I use the animal decks for is mostly to answer questions like what sort of energy I need to use this month, or what do I need to avoid, or what do I need to embrace, and things like that. And I think for energy readings, animal decks are really a good idea. And so I was working with these two animal decks, and then I was also working with an indie deck, which is called Earthbound Oracle. This is the box. And I really like, sorry if I'm looking that way, it's because my monitor is there and I can see what I'm filming and if I'm focused. And this oracle is really lovely, and it works really well intuitively. It has no guidebook, but I feel that the messages are so clear that you don't really need a guidebook to work with it. And it works a bit like Lenormand, because it has the keyword and you can combine it and make phrases, or you can actually like use it same as you would use the tarot to actually read the picture. But either way, I feel that it really works, and it has good, positive as well as negative um, meanings. So I like that it's quite balanced in this respect. So I really enjoyed that. This is not a new deck. I have worked with it in the past, but it's one that I really enjoy. So from time to time I come back and use it. It's a lovely deck. Tarot wise, I bought, you all know, if you have subscribed to my channel, or if you watch my videos like regularly, you all know that I'm obsessed with Anna K. Lenormand. And I had seen her tarot deck before, but because the faces sometimes have strange expressions, I was like, do I really want it? It follows Rider-Waite-Smith mostly, and do I need another deck like that? So I was kind of on the fence for a long time, and it was on my wish list, but I was keep postponing it, and I was buying other decks, and that had stayed there for months and months. But on March, I found it on eBay at a very good price, and I thought, well, I'll give it a go. And I'm so glad I did. I was working with it the whole month of March, and yeah, that's been a really lovely deck to work with. And even the faces that I was like not really by the way, this is one of my favorite cards, the Eight of Swords. What was I saying? Yeah, even the faces that I was like, I don't know. I got to really like them. I got used to them, and then somehow they started speaking to me. So now I'm not bothered about them at all. They don't make me feel uncomfortable or whatever. And also, what I like about this deck is are the aces. Because they are not like that traditional thing where you only have a hand holding a cup or a sword or whatever, but they are more, uh, of course I won't find one now, they are more illustrated, which helps you when you read the cards. And this deck comes with this little guidebook. That's the mass market edition. Comes with this little guidebook, which is really quite nice. But what I have to say about this mass market deck is that the box that it comes in is really not nice. It's one of them boxes, so you will like that's not great to keep the deck in. So you will probably need a bag or a box or something to keep the deck in. Well, I was about to show you, like, that's the Ace of Wands, and you see that it's more than just you know, the traditional depiction of the card. So yeah, I really like this deck. I think you got the message. Right, and another deck that I was working the whole month of March as well as April was no surprise at all, the Dark Mansion Tarot, which has never left my desk since I got it, and it's my favorite deck, I would say. I really enjoy this deck. Oop. Yeah, I do read reversal, so some cards are upside down. Um, it's beautiful. It's a very nicely illustrated deck. The colors are vivid. It has some playfulness, and I don't know, it just soaks me in a different world. I really enjoy working with this deck. It has something that makes me happy. It's not sugarcoating anything. It's not sugarcoating anything, but it's just the way the images are that kind of make me happy. Although, like, they're not necessarily super happy images. For example, can I find? For example, like you have a death and it's a skeleton, so it's not like it's something very very cute and fluffy. It's a skeleton for death, so you know, it's very what's the word I'm looking for? Like, not accurate, but I can't find the word now. Um, on point. However, eh, there is something about this deck that makes me happy, which I can't express in words. So that was that with tarot. Another deck that I keep using, and I've mentioned this in all my wrap-ups, and I work with this. I work with this both in March and April. Is the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. And that's the deck, and I have explained that this for me is not like an oracle that you would pull a card every day. It doesn't work that well for that, but it's a great deck to work with, and I'm still using this toolkit, which has like exercise, which has the fables that the cards of the deck are based on, and it has meditations and exercises and stuff, and I work consistently with this, a card or a fable if you want every week. So I'm now kind of like almost midway through the book, and I really enjoy that. And because I found myself working with this deck, and I thought, well, it's something that I want to keep and I want to work with, I decided to buy this book as well, which is How to Read the Cards. And here it gives you more information um, about the chakra meaning of the cards, as well as other ways to read the cards. And I'm going to do, I think I should make a video about this deck and these books and how they work together, because if I go through this video will be way too long. But I find that this book works well with the big book and the deck. So, but I wouldn't say, oh, go out and buy the whole thing, right? I would say get the book, the big book with the toolkit, if you're interested in that deck and in working with that. I would say get the toolkit, because this is the main thing that you work on, and if you find yourself enjoying it, then you can buy the deck and buy the little book, because they do work very nicely together. But I do understand that this is not a deck that anyone would enjoy. It depends if you like working with chakras, if you like working with fables and stories, because you get so much information. It's not just a keyword. The keyword is sometimes it doesn't even mean anything to me. Like sometimes the message is in the fable, not even in the depiction of the card or the title. It's in the actual story behind the card, and all the characters involved in the story. So it's a lot more complicated than a simple oracle deck. So yeah, I think that someone can get a lot from this deck, but it's not for everyone. What else? Right, and another thing that in March I also bought like 2 astrology books, but I'm not gonna go through them because I haven't read them yet. However, I found them secondhand at a very good price, and I am interested in the subject, so I put them on myself together with my other astrology books to read when I have the time. But I'm gonna read them definitely. And another book that I bought in March and I really really enjoying, but I haven't, I have only read that much, is this Discovering Yourself Through the Tarot. And this is a great book. Here, if you see, it says The UGM Guide to Archetypes and Personality. And this is a great book, packed with readings, with archetypes, with a lot of information. Although it's a small book, it's so densely written and like so packed with information that you can't really go fast if you want to get the best out of it. And because it has so many exercises, I'm taking my time. So yeah, I've only gone through this bit, but I really enjoy it. And if you're interested in the subject, then that's a book that I recommend. And fiction-wise, in March I read this book from the local library. It's called The Dying Game by Asa Avdik. I don't know, I'm really bad with names. And that was kind of like a spy, crime, conspiracy sort of book theme. It was good. I wouldn't say, I would give it like a 3 or 3.5. It was an easy read. It was pleasant to read. It was going quite fast, but it was lacking the surprise factor. Like I was kind of expecting things to happen, and then they happened. So in a way, that wasn't very. Yeah, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I did enjoy it. And yeah, basically that was all for March. And then we are going to April. April was my birthday month, so I wasn't in. I didn't have the intention to do the depth here in my birthday month. So I didn't go crazy though with buying, I have to say, like in the sense that what I got was mostly gifts, which, yeah, fair enough, they were on my wish list. And people asked, oh, what would you like? And I said, oh, well, I have this wish list. If you want to get me anything from there, fair enough. Um, so the only thing that I got myself, and I'm so super excited about it, and is this little gem. This is a Tiltwig tarot, and this is, I think it's out of print, but I'm not too sure. I know that the creator of this deck, which I can't remember the name, I'm sorry, died a few months ago, like last year, and they had a website, and they used to sell the decks through there. But then, because when he died, nobody had access to the website, so for a while it was open and it was taking people's money, but then they couldn't like get to the information of the people, so they couldn't send the decks out. So I know that now they are doing refunds and stuff. They are in this process. However, when I was looking to buy this deck, the website wasn't working anymore. And when I tried to get it from the US, the company that used to sell the decks was out of stock. So I was really disappointed. And then it struck me to look for information like about the deck and stuff. And I found a deck on eBay, and I tried to get it from there, and I asked for information from the seller, but I never got a reply. So I missed out on that chance, but that guy actually replied to me like about 3 weeks later. And he told me that he's actually running the shop in the US, and they are going to get more decks back in stock later, because they were on the way from the UK. And that kind of struck me that if they are getting it somewhere from the UK, then maybe I can get it from somewhere in the UK. So I looked into it, and I found an email, and I contacted someone, and I managed to get this from the UK. I don't know if that was like a special thing, or like a special occasion, or if they actually selling from the UK to individual people. Um, but if you are interested, go on the website of the Eclectic Tarot, and they have a thread about the Tildwick Tarot, and there you can find someone to contact, and that's how I got mine. Right, and this is a tarot deck that doesn't have many people, like it has next to no people in. It's mostly images from places, rooms, gardens, and stuff. And it's a collage deck. And it's, at first, when I first saw it, like a couple of years back, I wasn't sure if I would be able to work with this because it's very special. But then I fell in love with it. I saw a walkthrough on YouTube, and I fell in love with it. And I have to say that this is great for path working and for meditation, and it does give you like great messages, but it's not like the deck that you would pull to do a massive reading, because it's more the kind of deck that you need to spend time with each card in order to absorb all the details, and it kind of transfers you in another reality. Like, to me, what it does is like I feel that I go into this place, and the answers come through that, like through this experience. I don't know how to express it in words, but it's a completely different deck. Very interesting and a bit pricey. Well, maybe more than a bit, but it's really nice quality deck, and yeah, very special, like I said. Another deck that I worked with in April was the Vision Quest Tarot. This is a mass market deck, and this is a very interesting and nice deck, and comes with this little guidebook. But for me, it didn't really work very well, although I have worked with it in the past, and it's been a great reader. But maybe I wasn't in the right mood or whatever. This month it didn't really speak to me as much, which comes to show that some decks may be seasonal, sometimes they may work well with you and sometimes they may not, but that's all right. Two books that I got from eBay really cheap, and I'm really happy with them because I want to study the Thoth more closely, is the Book of Thoth and the Crowley Tarot. And these are old books. They have very good reviews, and I've flipped through them, and I think that they are really nice for someone that wants to study the Thoth, but I can't give you a very uh, my personal opinion because I haven't read them throughout yet. And now I'll tell you what I got for what I was given for my birthday. One of the books that I got was the Journaling the Tarot, which I think will be great for journaling prompts, because that's all what it is, this book. It's only 2 pages per card of prompts. But I think that this is a good idea for assigning extra meanings to the cards, because based on these prompts you can add extra layers of meanings to your card. For example, for Nine of Wands it says who or what inspires you. Well, before I hadn't associated the Nine of Wands with inspiration, but if you think about it, and you can add an extra meaning to the card that has to do with inspiration. And in this way I think that it will be an interesting book to work with. Another thing that I got was the Daily Stoic, and um, this is a book based on um the teachings of the Stoics, the philosophers, and basically it has for each day there is a quote, and then there is some text that explains the quote, but also gives you ideas of things to think of about everyday life. And it's about wisdom, perseverance, and the art of living. And so far I've been through a few days, because started I only got it like a week ago, um, and I'm really happy with it. I think it's very inspiring. It's different. It's not it's not tarot related, but I would classify it as a spiritual, personal development book. Another thing that I got is this book called Fortune Telling Using Playing Cards. And this is something that my mom, when I was little, used to read cards for people uh, kind of semi-professionally. And I used to read the cards as well, but not in this system. And this is something that I would really like to do again. But this book has also the history of the playing cards, and meanings of the cards, and ways to read the playing cards. So, and that was really cheap. I think it was like £4 or something. I got it from eBay or Amazon or something on special offer. And I thought, well, yeah, I will give it a go. It looks a good read. Another, you all know that I love astrology and I love tarot, and I've heard people talking about this book so much, and I checked it on Amazon and I was like, yes, that's interesting. So I was really tempted. Uh, excuse me. And especially Lisa, the supportive tarot, mentioned that, and really influenced me to go and check it out and buy it. So yeah, Lisa, that's because of you, but thank you for that. That's the Tarot and Astrology by Corinne Kenner. And I haven't read this yet, but I had a quick look, and I think that this is going to be a very interesting book. And this is another book that I got just for something to to work, you know, on a when I want to have fun with my decks and to relax. It's not I'm not taking it too seriously, and I think Jessica the Story Witch mentioned this in her channel. It's the 365 tarot spells by Sasha Graham, and this has, as you would imagine, a spread for every day. But what I like about it is that it has some information about like the day and then about the one of the cards. And here it has like a small story, and then it has the spread and the positions. And I really enjoy this book. It's a nice book if you want to spend more time with your decks and you're like, oh well, I've asked everything, what else can I ask? And yeah, that gives you ideas. Obviously you don't need this book. You can get beautiful spreads online from Pinterest, Instagram and all, but yeah, why not? And last but not least, I got for my birthday this little deck, which comes in this book, in this box, sorry, and it's the numerology. Because, as I said, I want to study the Thoth, and I also like pip decks as well. And in general, I think that numerology has a lot to offer. So this oracle comes with this deck, which is just 30 cards. It's 3 cards for every number from 0 to 9, and it has three different how to explain that, 3 different aspects of its number. And in the book it explains, like for example, for number 3, it says it gives you the 3 cards and then the interpretations of the cards, which you can pause and read. Maybe, I don't know if you can focus very well. And but also this book is great because it says a lot about numerology and the numbers in general, and sacred geometry, and it's a great little book. I haven't read it all yet, but it's very interesting. So I'm happy with this, and I haven't worked with the deck yet because I want to understand the numerology first and then work with this deck, because this is not really, although you can read, like once you understand what the cards mean, you can certainly work with them, but my idea was like to understand the numerology and grasp the basic things before I go and start using the deck. So yeah, that was it. And for April, I also read a book, which it was a book that I got from the library. So I don't really have the actual physical book. It was an ebook, and I'll show you. If, it's called The Alice Network, and by Kate Quinn. And that was more about the First and Second World War. It was more like some people were, it was like about spies and people gone missing, and people looking for them and things like that. It was interesting. It was the kind of book that has like two or three parallel storylines. One of them was very interesting, the other not so much, in my personal opinion. And some of the characters were really good, like, and solid, and some not so much. So, but what I really liked about it is that it's based on real facts, and at the end of the ebook, it tells you the real facts. So that was really something I enjoyed. And overall, I would give this book maybe a 4. I don't know. It was nice. It had some points. Like at some point, the book wasn't up to my expectations, I would say. But overall, it was something that I didn't have a problem to read, although it was big. And although I don't really enjoy ebooks, I prefer the print copies. But yeah, so that was it, I think, for April. Um, Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful time and a beautiful May. Much, much love. Bye bye.